Hey, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all are having a fantabulous day. And y'all, I got these videos coming, and pumping them out. But you know what? I like sharing and I like encouraging. And I see each and every one of y'all out there when y'all leave comments about, you know what, Tanya, this video was right on time. And I want to get back to me in a sense where what the Lord told me to do is to encourage and uplift. And so that brings about this topic that I was thinking about, which is figuring out who you are. Because, of course, life is going to always throw things at us, and our crystal stare will get cracked. Is that not the truth? So, in knowing all of that, experiencing all of that from day to day, from our jobs to our homes to who and what we do in our community, there are going to be things that come upon us that we're going to have to deal with, and you're going to have to know who you are. So again, I wanted to talk to y'all exactly about that. Know who you are, because at the core of who you are will be also the way you handle things and how you respond to things, what choices you decide to make in your life. You have to, and you better know who you are. It goes back to that saying in the word, examine yourself. See, if you go and continue to go through life, of course, when you were a child, you spoke as a child, you acted as a child, you learned as a child, but now behold, you are a fully grown woman. You are a fully grown man. And you're going to have to get to the point in your grownness. Because see, now, you want everybody else to follow the logic of, okay, I'm grown now. Okay, all right, well, wonderful. Well, that means you got to come out of those childish ways, and the way those childish thoughts are what's guiding your what choices and decisions. Excuse me. If you know who you are and you are now, behold, a grown man or a grown woman, then we need you and you need you. See, it's not just about us, but you need you. Somebody say that. You need you to know who you are. So, again, so I don't come off as preachy. Know who you are. Well, what does that mean, Tanya? What does that mean? Well, just like what it says, examine yourself. At some point, you can take all the things that you've learned from mama, daddy, sister, brother, auntie and them, the neighbors down the street. You can take all of those things, that village that perhaps poured into you, and now you have arrived at who you are. You have to take all of those things, put them all up in a nice little bow, and apply those things. And in applying those things, you have to know exactly who you are. What am I going to do today that's going to give me the ability to live with those decisions? Now, of course, some decisions people make, they could care less how it affects others. But in the core of who you are, yeah, again, you may have learned this, that, and the other for some other people, but eventually you're going to have to sit in the pocket and know who you are. What are you made of? What will you allow? What kind of character do you have? What's your integrity look like? How do I gauge that? How do other people gauge me? So that's where it comes into play of knowing who you are. You can't go off of the way somebody else is living their life. Know who you are and be true to you. Again, sometimes we have to remember not to be so focused on how other people want us to be. Even though it may be helpful, it may even be encouraging, but to the core, know who you are and make those decisions based off of knowing who you are. Because if you allow yourself to get tangled up and twist up in what a lot of other people want, you'll never be able to make decisions that are ultimately beneficial for you, because you don't know who you are. You're too focused in on, well, let me figure out what they want. Let me figure out what's going to make them okay. Well, sometimes that might not be what you need to do. You got to know how to discern between the two of what and who am I. See, when you know who you are, you can walk in the surety of making sound decisions that are beneficial to your life. When you know who you are, you can step into that arena of life and say, come on here, I'm ready. You've already been suited up and booted. See, when you know who you are, you're not going to have an unstable, wavering mind on what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. See, when you know who you are, can't nobody sway you. That devil can't come crouching up on you, because sin will always be sitting over there in the corner ready to crouch and pounce on you. Oh, yes, do know that it is. See, when you know who you are, can't nobody tell you right from wrong. It's already in you to know that. See, when you know who you are, no man can come in your life and manipulate you out of your good. See, when you know who you are, you don't have to worry about second guessing if you made the right decision, because you know who you are, and you know the added value that you bring. And it ain't my fault that y'all don't see it. It ain't my fault that they don't see it, because you can lay your head down at night and not have to worry about being woken up with the nightmare, because you've made decisions that have made it conducive that you're going to have a nightmare. See, when you know who you are, you don't have to live life looking over your shoulders. When you know who you are, you know you have asked and did cross every T and dotted every I when it comes to certain situations, when you know who you are. And there's nothing wrong with you still working through some things to get to where you need to get to, but that's just it. You have to put things in place so that it helps you and catapults you into those areas to get you to, oh, I know who I am. And you also, when you know who you are, you're not going to sit around jaw-jacking with folks who are either backbiters, who are jealous, who don't have any added value. And if you, I tell people this, I say this to my granddaughters, to my son. Let me tell you something about life. If you can't add to a person, if you cannot do anything to help them out, then stay your butt out of their way. Move out the way. Silver and gold I don't have, but what I do have I give unto you. So if you don't have anything to give, just stay out. Don't listen. Don't create more issues. Don't create more problems. If you know who you are and you're a person that will get too analytical about a situation and you may monkey up the water, how you help is just move out the way. See, when you know who you are, and you know that there are some certain things that you're not going to deal with and tolerate, guess what? No is a wonderful and powerful word. It's very therapeutic. When you know who you are, you'll know. No, sorry. I don't know if I can't participate in that. Because when you know who you are, you'll know that if I get involved in that, it's going to vex me and I'm going to mess up the whole show. When you know who you are, whether it's on a positive or even on the negative part of things. No, you don't want me to go. You don't want me to go because, see, you're not going to like what I'm going to have to say. See, when you know who you are, see, knowing who you are can keep you can keep you out of a lot of problems and issues. And it also can catapult you and have your audience be those of wonderful and enjoyable things. And you got to know the difference between the two. See, knowing who you are will put you in spaces where you never even dreamed of that you'll be able to walk, talk, sit, or parlay when you know who you are. And it takes time, it takes experience, and sometimes knowing who you are may require you to sit back and watch and pray. Just like that words, watch and pray. You ain't got to open up your mouth. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to inquire. No, you can just sit back in the cut. And I've talked about that before. Oh man, there's much to learn when you can just sit back and observe. But knowing who you are, what you can tolerate, what you bring to the table, that's a powerful thing when you know who you are. You don't have to put on any airs for people. You don't have to sit in the pocket of being a groveler. You don't have to be manipulated or coerced. Somebody trying to beat you out of this resource and that resource because you already see them coming through the door. When you know who you are, having knowledge of knowing who you are, that nobody can just dangle a carrot in front of your face. Knowing who you are, my God, is a wonderful thing. So, again, as you go and maneuver through this, what we call life here on this side of time, know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, at least put some boundaries and facets in place. So when people run up, you won't get done up. Now that's real. I know people say that, but that was a rhyme, honey, for ya. Know who you are, so when people run up, you won't get done up.